in January, our shop burnt to the ground, and we lost everything to this fire, like all of our engines, motors, like a bunch of trucks, pickups. We've had this shop for 25 years, like since I was a baby, since I was a kid anyway.
Bit of a hoarder as well.
Yeah.
Put that on the shelf. You never know when you might need it. I do the same thing.
Yep. This building's 200 foot long and 70 foot wide, and it was packed full from one end to the other with just so much sentimental stuff and vehicles and my trucking company. And I get a phone call from the police department at like 11:30 at night saying, "Hey, your building's on fire." And I thought it was like my little office building. And they did say office, but there was an office in that building as well. So you can actually watch that video on our YouTube channel. It's horrible. I'm just going to warn you right now. If you don't like things that's going to hurt your feelings or make you cry, don't watch that video. So me and my wife jumped in the truck and we rushed down there, and dude, there's just smoke everywhere, like just everywhere, and it's coming out from under my building. And I'm like, holy crap, and all I see is all these trucks sitting around, customers' trucks, and I knew what was inside of the building.
Did you get there before the fire department and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they sent a police car, and he would not let me open the doors, and I'm trying to move trucks to where they could get to the shop.
And you're probably pretty rural area.
Yeah.
So
right in the middle of nowhere.
So is it volunteer firemen out there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in a town like that too. Yeah. And if a fire starts, it usually is to the concrete.
Yeah. It was it was definitely
nothing against the volunteer firemen.
No, that's the way
it's just how it is.
Why risk your life to go in? If there's not somebody in there dying, they're not going in there.
Yeah. Well, and the response time is always slower on a volunteer fireman too, because
I was surprised how fast they got there. I will say they did a pretty good job getting there. And so my plan is the bottom side of the shop was on fire, which was like the automotive side, like where all the cars and stuff were. This is what's horrible. My brother, his mom passed away from cancer, and like this had just happened, and she left him a Mach 1 Mustang, and that car was inside in a clutch. It was unlit, and that thing burnt to the ground. Man. So that side of the shop was on fire, and that's all I could think about was that Mach 1 Mustang. I'm trying to decide, like, save the trucking business or save his mom's car, and so I'm going to split it right down the middle where we can see both. So I had this tractor there, this huge tractor. So I'm trying to get all these trucks out of the way to where I can take this tractor, and I'm going to split the building right down the middle because there was one bay that was empty, and it would have pushed through that door and went out the backside, went into the ditch, and I could have shut it off at that point.
So you're just going to
just let it go.
Ride it right into the building.
Just going to jump out, let it go through the building. Yep. It's like a $6,000 tractor.
Okay. What time was this? Was this like?
This is like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Yeah.
So I get everything out of the way finally where I can do this, and they put a stop to that real quick. Nope, we can't open them doors. Like, to the point where they're ready to arrest me, or put me in handcuffs to calm me down, I guess. And I tell them, like, guys, I can open that door. The fire's right there. It's in that office. We can put that out and save this building. I said, if it gets up here, there's oil, there's diesel, there's methanol. My whole life's up here. Like, if I lose this stuff, it's the end of me. And they would not let me get in that door. They would not let me bust it open. They wouldn't let me let the tractor go through it.
Isn't that what they like to do during a fire too? They want to breathe it. They want to
this thing, like, it's a pole barn style shop, so it was breathing.
Yeah,
like this thing's got just so much air coming up under the roof, just stoking this thing. And I'm like, guys, it's breathing. Like, the thing is breathing. I'm not going to do nothing that's going to hurt it or make it worse. If anything, we could have split that shop in half. They could have put the bottom side out, saved the top half. Nope, didn't happen. So once they stopped that, I started I went and started hooking trucks to other trucks and trying to yank them out of the way and all this stuff. And it was horrible. It was just a horrible, horrible experience. And it burnt to the ground, plumb smack down to the ground. All my new motors and parts, inventory, the whole 9 yards, all gone, just in like 2 hours.
Holy crap! And you just stood there, and then were they even spraying it, or were they just?
Yeah, I mean, they sprayed.
They just kind of controlling it from.
Yeah, they controlled it.
Yeah, they weren't like, we're not putting this out, but we're gonna try to contain it from getting anything else.
Yep. And once it got to that oil and methanol and fuel and stuff, dude, it got so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I didn't burn the whole neighborhood.
It's a scary spot to be in for firemen too. I mean, like, they know that there's extremely flammable stuff in there. I know a guy. He went to his local fire department and told him, he was like, if my house is on fire, don't climb on that roof because I got a lot of ammo up in my attic and it's going to be dangerous. So he's like, I went and told them there's so much ammo in my attic that don't climb on my roof. And I was like, I don't know if it would do anything, but I probably wouldn't want to be standing over 2,000 rounds of ammo or whatever it is.
Man, that would be insane.
Yeah, I don't know what would happen in that deal, but...
They got so, like, this one guy, he was mad at me. Like, he was just like, stay out of the way. And I got this one truck named Rooster that's like the truck that started my channel. You know, that's my baby. This truck means the world to me. It was sitting beside the shop on the outside, but his engine that I just spent $70,000 building was inside. This sucker melted. It like broke in half. And so I'm like trying to move them trucks out of the way, and I had a customer's truck on the backside where the fire was really getting bad, and it's probably a $60,000-$70,000 truck.
Yeah.
And I knew if I can't afford that.
Yeah,
like I've got to move that
melt
truck
out and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm hooking chains to them, getting to where the other truck would get traction. We're dragging them out in the road. And
Was he there helping too? Was he hooking chains up?
Was you there? No, you were at home in bed. Yeah. So then, so we finally get all of it. Shop burns down. It's over. It is what it is. Get up the next morning. I go home like 6 a.m. after it's contained. Try to get like an hour's sleep. EPA shows up. There's oil. Like, it's all on our lot. Like, I had to skid steer out there, like, blockading our lot off.
Yeah.
But one of the neighbors called the EPA and said that the oil and diesel all in the creeks and the water and all this stuff. And so here they come in force. Like, I'm talking, you'd think the FBI just showed up for a raid.
Did they have jackets on too, and EPA jackets?
They were like all.
Did they carry firearms? Because if they do, they should really put a stop to that.
They were pretty official. Like, maybe they did. I know they had some. I don't know if it had been a firearm. They had stuff. Maybe it was a measuring tape or something.
Yeah, man.
Some
like
kind
a
of
water tester.
Yeah. Something crazy, but.
So they come knocking and they're like,
"Oh yeah,
hey, we know your shop just burned down, but
yeah,
here we are."
One of my guys that was down there, trying to keep everything contained, and I told him before I left, I said, "Hey, we got to get this oil cleaned up. First things first. Oil's got to get cleaned up." And so here they are, telling me the oil's got to get cleaned. I'm like, I know that. Like, we're working on it. I had two machines.
It's still smoldering.
Yeah. Two machines sitting there working, and that place is hot.
Yeah.
And we're scraping the parking lot up, piling it all up, and trying to get it cleaned up to appease them. And I'm like, the shop just burnt. We got it contained. It's not going to, that happened. Then I knew right off, I was like, I've got to, any customer stuff that I had there, I knew I had to just fork out the money, just get it paid. I didn't want that kind of drama.
Yeah.
And the insurance would not do anything. I did not have the insurance that I had didn't cover like customer stuff, and and the trucks that I had in the shop was projects. All this stuff we've had for 20, 25 years. There's nothing, no line item in there on our insurance policy. And it's our business insurance.
Yeah.
I'm already paying $500,000 a year to have. And I'm thinking,
cool, they'll at least give me that $500,000.
Yeah, right.
All that I paid. Might as well have it in a savings account.
So luckily, I think my brother on that Mach 1 Mustang, I think he had like full coverage or something on it. And I think they paid for it to him. And that was it. That's the only thing that got paid out of that whole entire shop. And now I have the best insurance you could possibly have. This will never happen again. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I couldn't survive it again.
Become real friendly with your insurance agent at that point.